Amazing audience, we are live with Kirsten Anderson, and she has taken the time to be here to have a conversation with this guy who drove from the Caribbean, but she still took the time to drive like an hour to be here, which is beautiful because that's 2 hours both ways, right? Kirsten, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
You're so welcome.
I don't need the shades inside, even though
But
it's
we
beautiful
needed
and bright
to
in
see
here.
that. I can I wear them, please?
Yeah, that's what you gotta try them on.
See how this works.
Are
they tested?
Yeah, that's right. As soon as you put them
serious?
on, you're like filled with love because you got the heart-shaped. It's like rose-colored glasses, but these are heart-shaped glasses.
Is it blingy?
No, there's no bling on them, though.
Tested. Okay. Thank you, Amanda. I feel so much better now. So the last time we spoke about a few things. One of the most intriguing things is how you combine the corporate world with Lego.
I do.
Right? And get them to play.
Mm-hmm.
It's necessary to play.
It is.
You came here with 2 boys and a friend.
Yes, three tweens.
3 tweens.
Yes, tweens.
I
So
need to find out from
that
them
10 to 13 stage.
how they play, right? And how players impacted them.
Yeah.
That was really intriguing in terms of how you do that, right? I remember your earliest childhood memory was you sliding down the step, right?
The stairwell, yeah.
Right,
Mm-hmm.
and that was really sliding down the stairwell, of course, not the step. That was it.
Yeah. Too bumpy.
But it's fascinating to see you today. First of all, like the power of a conversation, but secondly, give us an update. Like what have you been doing and how have you been impacting others?
Yes, I think since the last time we talked, I just got back from New Orleans, so that was my first time visiting there. I was speaking to 1,500 people on the power of the playful mindset and how that can help all aspects of business. Having a playful mindset can help your marketing and your interactions with your employees, which impacts your customer experience. And so those were all fun ways to get people thinking about their business in different ways. And yeah, it was good. It was hot. It was very hot in New Orleans.
In New Orleans.
Yeah, that's
you
right.
Remember the heat?
Oh yes, I was like a human waterfall there.
Oh my!
Just like from head to
you're
toe.
trained for the coldness, right? Your body's
Well, I
trained
mean,
for
it's
that.
not. I mean, you can see it's not cold here at all right now, but
humidity.
it was so humid. Yeah, so I wasn't used to that.
I didn't even understand humidity until I got on this trip. You know, I was like, I would hear people say, "Oh, it's so humid." I was like, "Oh, what is? I mean, if it's hot, it's hot."
Right.
But then we experienced humidity, and that was crazy. Like you would just step outside. And
Yeah.
it was crazy. So you did that. You are a speaker.
Yeah.
What about the Lego? Tell me, what was that taking place?
Yeah, I guess it was a couple days ago, I did a Lego summer camp as well for kids. So sometimes it involves kids, sometimes it's corporate. But the summer camp was good, and we did all kinds of creativity and innovation and teamwork. So the same things that I'll do with a corporate team, I've integrated it into some children's work. And I'm sorry I didn't bring Lego for us to play with here. We could have been doing a little Lego play.
Yeah, I would have loved to see how this works, because I was fascinated when we did speak. You could hear it in that conversation if you listen. I'm really fascinated by it. So how does it work?
Well, it is something that the more time you have with it is the better. So a normal session would be about 4 hours with a corporate team, and an ideal number would be, say, around 20, but I can do conferences that are like 500 people. But in those settings, you're usually only doing it for an hour. And it's really like at Costco, they have these little tiny samples of something. It's not really an appetizer, but that's what I think of as when someone does Lego Serious Play for an hour, it's like a Costco sample size. It's not really, you just get a small taste. You don't get that depth. You find out, okay, so these are some of our challenges that we have, but you don't get to the so what now? Where do we take this? What are the action steps we're going to do? So it's great for situations where you have a tough decision to make and you want all the voices at the table heard, because everybody speaks, everybody gets their voices heard. So instead of like one person doing all the talking, or 20% of the people putting in their ideas, the same people every time, you get everyone expressing some thoughts that they may not have even known they had, but it comes out through their Lego when they build a model, and then they start describing what they built.
So everyone is building their own
answer
Lego.
to a question.
Okay.
So they're first we do some skills building, and then we dive into some deeper questions like around leadership or around change management. It could be around creativity, how do we communicate between two teams that are working really separately. And it's being used in nonprofits, to Procter & Gamble, to any type of product development, even focus groups. So yeah, it's a pretty diverse range of uses. So it was a natural fit for me to be physically playing with adults, and at the same time helping them with their culture and with their ability to work better as a team.
What's the reaction after?
It's really positive. It's really good. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Is it life-changing to the individual that's doing it, more than just from a corporate perspective of applying a decision in that realm, or do you see that it affects them in their personal lives somewhat as well?
Well, I would say, especially like if I go in and do a talk on playful mindset, that might be more impactful for their life in and out of work, like how they approach their work and how they approach their lives, where they prioritize it. Like I just did a talk to an investment group, to their top clients, and we did it on designing a retirement you love, using the playful mindset that I've designed, the 8 pillars of the playful mindset. So that was really cool because, they had like tears in their eyes, and they're like, I'm looking at my retirement in a completely different way now. So that, I would say, has a really, you could see the difference that it's going to make them to their lives. Whereas Lego Serious Play is really about a particular challenge. I mean, they might integrate some of the playfulness that they've, like, oh, this was really fun, we should do more of this at work, or but I have used it in like family meetings, like we're having a challenge around, say, screen time or something, and then everyone's going to do the Lego, and we build out our answers, just the 4 of us. It's been good.
That must be fun. So we cover a segment called Your Own Unique Real Shoes, and it speaks about the shoes you've had to wear up to this point, right? What are some of the shoes you had to wear up to this point in your life?
Orthotics? No. Yes, the variety of shoes. Like the challenging shoes?
Well, you could give me any.
The high shoes, the low shoes. I mean, I've worn the shoe of entrepreneur my whole adult life, I would say.
Those are the high ones?
I would say it's the rocky one, like there's stones in those shoes that you feel like, if you want to go full on with the metaphor, like there's always something, and, being an entrepreneur, like your job is never done. It's full time. So you wear those shoes to bed. You never take the shoe off. You're always, when you're an entrepreneur, you're always on. So that's why, I think it's really important for entrepreneurs to integrate play into their work, because that's how people burn out, and the playful mindset helps them with their perfectionism. So for me, the shoe doesn't have to be brand new and slick, and I realize that there's going to be discomfort in that shoe sometimes, and sometimes it's going to fit just right. If we want to play with that metaphor.
No, well done. Well done. I love it. So is it worth it, or has it been worth it, wearing those shoes up to this point?
Yeah, I mean, for me, owning the toy store was not a walk in the park, but it was something I'd done for so long that it was fairly easy. It was profitable. It was consistent. I was naturally good at it. It was my strength. And so now to transition in my 40s to a completely new career, it's a super steep learning curve, and that's fun and exciting and challenging and a huge adventure. Like you're very familiar with taking on these big, new, ambitious adventures. And so, becoming a professional speaker, speaking on international stages is something I didn't foresee, 10 years ago. I didn't foresee that. I didn't foresee working on a book, or none of this was anticipated or planned even. Even when I sold this toy store, I didn't even know what I was going to do. All I knew was I had this need to bring more play to adults' lives. And it was like, I'll figure it out how I'm going to do it once I get there. And so here I am figuring it out day by day, and just, meeting lots of new people like you, and having great conversations and finding my way. So I would say, yes, it's a worth it challenge.
Love it. Where's the best place for people to connect with you?
I'm on Facebook as Kirsten Anderson, and I'm loving Instagram for the visual, and that's
I would think so.
Kirsten at Play, and Twitter's Kirsten at Play. Yeah.
We could just
links.
put
Yeah,
all the links in
that's
there
easier.
on the Facebook.
It's always
which is
Kirsten playing something.
Okay, that's wonderful. Do you have any regrets?
Regrets? No, because I always think of, I speak on failure, but I always think of, failure as an experience. So it's an opportunity for growth and learning. So yeah, I wouldn't say regrets, like even expensive mistakes, I have to pull the learning out of that. Like there had to be a reason for that mistake. Lots of mistakes, lots of failures along the way, but I wouldn't go back and necessarily take them back.
What are you most excited about right now?
I dwell in possibility, so I'm excited about the potential. I'm filled, I think we're all filled with potential, and being able to be more creative in the future, and getting the message out to more people. So, I haven't put a number on it like you did, like 1,001 conversations. I have another friend that's into play too, like reach 1 million people.
Yeah.
I haven't put a number goal on it, but yeah, just reaching more people. I'm more excited about that every day.
Quality over quantity.
Yeah, I would like both, quality and quantity, kind of like you. I think you're having quality and quantity in your conversations, and the difference between the face-to-face versus the video. So that's...
Yeah, definitely quality.
Neat. Yeah.
Yes, it's more quality to see you here and have this conversation with you. When you heard that this guy from the Caribbean was coming to meet you, what did you think?
Yeah, I was like, I'll make the effort to make the journey out here because I wanted to meet you face-to-face, and... that's what life's about, right? Making those connections and meeting new people and learning from new people. And so, I really admire what you're doing.
Yeah. It only took me just about 17,000 miles to get to you.
And when we were driving here with the 3 boys, and they asked, why are you doing what you're doing? What is your... that was the sum total of their question. So, and I would translate that as, what's your intention? And so, I would ask that. Or maybe you can... answer that for them.
Well, it's interesting. I'm really fascinated by how conversations connect, because the person that was here before that you can listen to, well, we didn't start recording just yet, but she asked me the question right before we started. She said, why are you doing this?
Yes, same.
And I said, why is a strong question. Why, a friend in Nashville taught me, is a strong word. Yeah.
Simon Sinek.
So I said, why? Well, more than that, it's more of a statement than a question. So I said, why are you wearing those red glasses? And she says, because I love them. So there you go. There's your answer. I start my podcast by saying I love great conversations.
Right, yeah.
Having an offline conversation, an online conversation is powerful, but having an offline conversation like this is even more powerful.
Yeah.
So I'm doing what I love.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. This has been a great pleasure. Before you leave, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
Well, I hope that people think back to what they loved to do when they were children. And really remember that and get into the feelings of that. I do some private coaching around that. And then when people access those memories, really think about how much they're using those feelings and those activities in their adult life. What can they bring from their childhood that they love to do into their present day?
Yeah. Totally agree. It's worth it.
Yeah.
It's worth it. Kirsten Anderson, this has been a great pleasure. Thank you for being on What is Inspired by 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones. Did you have fun?
Yes, of course.